Hi Kingsgate kids, it's Miriam. Great to see you again. Look, today I have some wine here and I also have a slice of bread. I think they must have something to do with the video that you watched earlier. You see, I want to talk to you about a very special meal. There are quite a few meals and celebrations described in the Bible, and one of them was called the Passover. The Passover was special for God's people because it was the time where they remembered that God freed them from slavery in Egypt and working for the Egyptian king. So they went from being slaves to being completely free, and they wanted to remember it every year and glorify God. So what they did, every year they would find the most perfect, the most flawless lamb, and they would sacrifice it. And that lamb was called the Passover Lamb. So what's that got to do with the video that you watched? Do you remember what Jesus did in that video? That's right, he had a meal with his friends. He also had some bread and he had some wine. But what did he do with them? Jesus took the bread, broke it into many pieces and gave it to his friends, who we call disciples. He did the same thing with the wine. He shared the cup of wine with all of them. And then he also told them something. Jesus told his friends that the bread represented his body and the wine represented his blood. Do you know, I wonder what the disciples must have thought. They must have been very, very puzzled and confused. How can a piece of bread be Jesus' body? And how come a cup of wine be his blood? You know, what Jesus was actually saying to his disciples is that he was to become a sacrifice. He was to become the Passover lamb at Easter. His body was to be broken into many pieces as it was being nailed on the cross. And his blood will be spilled from his wounds. And this is what the wine and the bread represent. So how come was Jesus able to become the Passover lamb? We said that the lamb God's people used to sacrifice was perfect and flawless in every single way. Are we saying that Jesus was perfect and flawless in every single way? Absolutely. Jesus lived the most perfect life here on earth. He never did anything wrong or said anything unpleasant or unkind. He listened to his Heavenly Father and did everything his Heavenly Father asked him to do. That's how he was able to become the sacrifice. He had to be perfect. You know, the other thing that Jesus did, he turned the old Passover into a new supper, new meal with a very special meaning. And we call it today the communion. We do it here at Kingsgate, and you might have seen your parents do it sometime as well. We share bread and we share wine or juice to remember what Jesus did for us. That's what we as Christians do. We believe that Jesus' blood covers everything that we have ever done wrong. That God forgave us fully and completely and said, welcome, you are mine now, you are my children. And you know, this is the most amazing news about the story of Jesus dying on the cross. Even though that story might make you feel a little sad when you listen to it. But I know that Jesus sacrificed his life because he loved us so much. He loved me and he loved you. And he wanted to give us the most awesome, the most perfect gift of all. He wanted us to become children of God. And this is what we remember when we share communion together. So I'm going to remember every day what Jesus did for me. I'm going to remember that he loves me and that he died for me so that I can be a child of God. Will you remember that too? Okay, that's it from me today. See you next time, Kingsgate kids. Bye.